Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here today. We called this press conference to announce an update in a recent child abuse case. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce our agency member standing up here with me today. Starting to my left is Special Victims Unit Detective Andrew Clark, our Sheriff Carmine Marcino, and our Chief John Holloway. I'll turn it over to Sheriff Marcino.
Good afternoon. I'm Sheriff Carmine Marcino, and I want to thank you all for being here today. On May 17, 2020, the Lee County Sheriff's Office responded to a call for service on the 4000 block of 23rd Street Southwest in Lehigh Acres. The call was in reference to a 23-month-old female who had possibly fallen, was vomiting, and was in need of medical assistance. Deputies and medics arrived, and the child was transported to Galasanos Children's Hospital. Upon her arrival, medical staff determined that the child was suffering from multiple skull fractures, full body bruising, a brain bleed, a broken clavicle, spleen damage, and a blown pupil. Blood was present in the child's urine, and these life-threatening injuries prompted emergency staff to have the child med-flighted to Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg. Doctors in St. Petersburg indicated the child was suffering from fatal, abusive head trauma causing injury to the skull, the scalp, and brain, consistent with high-force impacts to the head. Doctors indicated that the injuries were not consistent with any form of minor household injury. Following interviews with all parties involved, it was determined that Yanir Balaquez Oreda entered the child's bedroom, locked the door, and remained inside for approximately 30 minutes. The child's mother indicated that she knocked on the door, was allowed entrance to the room, and observed the injuries to the child. The Lee County Sheriff's Office detectives placed the suspect under arrest and charged him with aggravated child abuse. On May 19th, the suspect was released on bond. The following evening, May 20th, the child succumbed to her injuries and passed away. Following the child's passing, the State Attorney's Office had charged the suspect with second-degree murder. On Tuesday, June 16, 2020, the Lee County Sheriff's Office detectives arrested the suspect, and he's now in our custody. I will not tolerate any type of abuse, especially victimizing the most vulnerable in our community. This monster is now behind bars, and jail is too good for him. Before I take questions, I want to thank our detectives and our State Attorney's Office who tirelessly investigate these cases and bring those responsible to justice. Any questions? Christina Mendez, NBC.
May I just ask what the delay was, the reasoning for that? We know about a month or so passed by in between that period of time. Can you just kind of explain why that was?
With the charges. Yeah, so at the beginning we investigate, as we always do, immediate and factual and transparent. At the time of the incident, our detectives were putting their case together because the child, the infant, had not passed away. The charge was appropriate at that time, and then once the child passed, we changed our charge.
What relationship does he have with the child?
So him and the baby's mom are in a domestic relationship, and that's all I can say. They had been dating for about 8 months, and they're in a domestic relationship.
Any previous criminal history?
None to my knowledge. Any other questions?
We received some information that the suspect is here, perhaps illegally, his family, and can you explain any information about that may...
So the information you received as far as the suspect being here illegally, the suspect is here legally, so he's a legal resident. Any other questions? Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you.